Money, the axis around which the whole world is revolving. People are shedding blood and sweat to earn it. But then, what's the reason the world is divided into two sections, the rich and the poor, the haves and the have-nots? Is there a viable solution to tide over the situation? Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Astha Pandey, and a very warm welcome to all of you to our program, Financial Literacy and Money Management Skills Need of the Hour. Earning money doesn't make a man rich. Having the right attitude of managing it does. Because only when the youth is enlightened about how to manage their money and not just to earn it, this gap of rich and poor can be dissolved. The agenda of this webinar is to create an awareness of the significance of financial literacy for a younger generation. The richest businessman, Warren Buffett, once said, "Sometimes parents wait until their kids are in their teens before they start talking about managing money, when they should be starting when their kids are in preschool." Education 10X decided to take this noble initiative and build the world's first and only gamified online financial literacy program for students of age 8 to 16. Our program and curriculum content is scientifically devised by the alumni of top-notch business colleges of the world like IIM Calcutta, Howard University, and New York University Stern. Now, without a further ado, I would like to introduce our guest for today, who will enlighten us about the absolute necessity of financial literacy in this money-headed era. So we have amongst us Dr. Anju Mehrotra, Director and Principal of Kalka Group of Institutions, also a resource person, philanthropist, and visionary. She has been associated with academic organizations like CBSE, SCERT, Next Education, Digital Learning, and many other such organizations. She has been awarded with CBSE Star Teacher Award and Dr. Kalam Memorial Ignited Mind Award. Gosh, has to take a breather there. I can just imagine and dream about such achievements. Welcome, ma'am. Next, I welcome Mrs. Geeta Giri, Principal at Basil Woods Natural School. She has also been the principal for State CBSE and ICSE Board, also served as a scientist with the Ministry of Coal and Mines Government of India. She was recognized for her efforts towards Better India by the Behtar India campaign. She was also awarded as Best District Principal by SOF and is a visionary leader. Now, I would like to welcome Ms. Arpana Ruth. She is a principal at Ingraham Institute English School, an innovative academic leader focused on engaging with students and educators to meet learning objectives and drive students' progress. Her effort paid off when her school was ranked as #1 in Ghaziabad in 2012 by the magazine Digital Learning. And now we have Ms. Aditi Mahesh Toshnewal, Founder Director of Nature's Lab Preschool. She has been awarded with Jolly Phoenix Trainer UK and is an ECA territory member and also will be moderating today's session. It's an absolute honor to have you all dignitaries amongst us. We are intriguingly looking forward to hearing your discussion on this hot topic. Let's begin. I would like to request Ms. Aditi now to begin this wonderful session by being the first speaker. Over to you, Ms. Aditi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Astha, for that opportunity. I thank Education 10X for organizing such a wonderful webinar. That is the need of the hour. Like you mentioned, it's really the hot topic, which is not touched by a lot of people. You know, when we talk about teaching our children, we tell them about different subjects. We talk to them about maths, sciences, you know, all the languages, but we never talk to them about financial literacy. At the end, when we are teaching them about these subjects, the goal of the life is to have a better life. And one of the aspects to have a better life is to have better bank balance. it's very important that, children, we give them opportunities, we give them examples to, you have to earn money, you have to organize yourself. The ways of earning money, we tell them, but we don't tell them how to organize, save the money. It's very easy to earn money. I tell you, friends, it's nowadays, nobody goes hungry to bed. If you have talent, if you have creativity in you, nobody goes hungry to bed. But going, just by earning money is not the whole motto. You have to earn money and you have to channelize your money into ways in which, or you have to invest your money in ways in which you get better returns and you have a bright and a better future. So taking that into consideration, I am a preschool owner, founder director of Nature's Lab Preschool. So here I have inculcated financial literacy in my senior KG children, those who are 5 and above. 3 and above are too young to understand the term, but yes, gradually, if along with the collaboration of the parents, if we tell them about what is money and why it is important, children will be able to justify it. It is very well said that when a child is from 0 to 6 years, they have their eureka moment. They are very smart, they are brilliant. It's just how you put in the language, the words, the topics that you want to explain them. It's just how creatively and how is the way that you are putting the topic in front of the child. If you're doing it in the right manner, he or she will be able to comprehend and will be able to do justice to your teaching. This is one aspect. It's said that if you want a child to have a habit, you should give the child that habit or the way of inculcating that habit in a very young age. So if we want our children to be money smart, then why not from a very initial age? Why to wait till, when they go to college or when they are understanding, okay, whether I should go for commerce, science, or whatever. If a child is from IB board, they get a better opportunity in the initial years. Like in the 7th and 8th, they have their opportunity to choose their subjects, wherein in ICSE and CBSE, we don't really have that opportunity. As of now, maybe once the national education policy is implemented, we might have it. But why to wait till grade 11 that, okay, if the child is choosing a commerce stream, then only he or she will be able to have the knowledge of accounts and finance. How about a doctor? Why the doctor's life goes on a toss? Why is he not taught financial literacy? The doctor is taught how to earn money, but he doesn't know where to park his money properly. So on that note, I would request Dr. Anju ma'am to kindly let us, focus some light on this topic, that why financial literacy is so important at a young age. Over to you, ma'am.
Great. Hope I'm audible.
Yes. Yeah, perfect.
Good evening, everyone. I think Prachi has done a great job, picking up such a very, very important topic, which is the need of the hour, and especially in the light of NEP, when we have started discussing about, developing these skills amongst our children. Right. Now the point arises that why financial literacy is very important. Okay, so financial literacy, it is a life skill. It is just a value. We don't say that this is something, which is not a part of the daily system, which is not just a part of their syllabus, right? Though it may not be directly related to academics, that is just one aspect of it. But when it comes to finances, I think it becomes, from a very, very early childhood itself. So when we understand that 0 to 6 years, they are the foundational years, they are very, very important years. They are the years, the impressionable years when we can really make a kind of indelible impact on the child's mind, whichever way we want to deal with them. So this is something, that starts with handling their pocket money from day one. This is, it's not that, you are going to earn money and then you will be spending it, then you will be saving it, then you will talk about something, how to manage that money. It's not like that. As what I say, from your early childhood, the day, the child starts observing mom or dad, spending that money and all, some kind of learning begins right from there itself. So when the child gets pocket money, it is the responsibility, it is the duty of the parents to just let the child understand, how to spend that money, right? Spending again, there are various ways how they are going to spend that money, but at the same time, they must understand how to save that money also. So the concept of saving that money, if you feel, that has been really going on that's as old as as per our age, I think piggy bank and money bank used to be something like, which our ancestrals have been using it, right? When we have the Mohenjo-daro and Harappan civilizations, there also we find those piggy banks, they have come up. So this particular concept of saving money, handling your money, this has been really going on from ages. But now the point arises that when the child is there, again, as what you were mentioning, that we should not wait the child having commerce or business studies, then only learning about, how to handle the finances. So it's again, I would say that it is not just that part. This is something which is an ongoing process. It starts with your piggy bank and it continues to be there. But of late, the point arises that this has become, the need is there that it should become a part of our curriculum, a part of our syllabus. So the child can understand, that this is also a structured program. This is also something which every student needs to understand and learn. So probably we would not consider it as that kind of a subject, which is like, which is available, say, end of it for the evaluation or something. But then when I say that it is a part of their life skill, when I say that it is a part of their value system, because learning about finances, handling and managing about finances gives the child, a kind of confidence, right? The child becomes independent, he becomes responsible, and at the same time, he also understands that, how he would be able to, these startups are there. This is how the children learn, how they can contribute into that. So the child learns, that this is the amount, this is the kind of, say, the cash available to them. Now, how to, say, spend this particular money so that this becomes profitable as well. So the concept of profit also comes in their mind, but at the same time, this also comes in their mind that, it is again a aspect or a particular dimension of their social responsibility, that if they are saving this money, if they are learning, how to manage this money, so that it should be for general interest. We should not be unnecessarily spending our money, right? So that the larger community in the society, gets in any kind of, they suffer. So the child gets, become empathetic towards the needs of the other people as well. So the financial literacy, I believe this has become very important, very essential aspect of our daily lives, because this is a part of our life skills. And this is a kind of skill, if a child develops right, from the beginning, and with the passage of time, it really grows, and we learn, how to handle that money really in a very sensible manner, right? And this, when it comes to finances, I believe that it is not just related to money. This includes a very, very broader aspect of it. It is something which is related with community as well. The touch of poverty also comes in this. One side, when we say that we need to sensitize our children towards the eradication of poverty and towards minimizing, the needs of the people around us. So this, when they learn about their handling or managing their finances, at the same time they learn, the needs of the other people also, and somehow they contribute, towards that eradication as well. So this is something which is related with their community aspect, which is a part of their empathy, their life skills. And once, this financial literacy comes in their mind, this the structured program comes in their mind, I think their attitude changes, their behavior also changes, and they become very, very responsible and confident. So these days, the point is that our 21st century learners, when they are being handled by the facilitators, we just act as facilitators these days. So they it's a knowledge society. Knowledge explosion is there everywhere. So sometimes even the children, they know more than their teachers. So in that kind of environment, it becomes our duty also that to make them understand, that what are the finances, especially in the scenario of these online transactions. When everything is happening in this way, when everything has become online, and when our country and our Prime Minister also talks about cashless, right? And cashless India and digital India. So in that kind of scenario, this literacy becomes all the more important, because they must know the kind of frauds, right? And the something which is not expected from anyone, these kind of cases which have been happening, right? So they should be aware of it. So financial literacy as a structured program, I believe CBSE has also started this program. I have this, a proper structured curriculum in my school also. And we have been training our children right from their primary section. They learn. And in the class itself, we have the piggy banks, and just the value of 1 rupee. We have to make them understand that if anything comes for 99 rupees and you give 100 rupees and you just pass away, you just walk away from that side. No, that 1 rupee, you need to take it back. Whether you have to give, you must give. And when you have to take it back, right, that change should not be left like that. So that unaccounted thing should not be there. Let it be. And in a class of 40, if everybody contributes just 1 rupee, we have different banks also. The class banks are there, right? Then the book banks are there. So they understand that what bank they are talking about. We have a time bank as well. The children come and contribute their time as well. So this is all about finances. Finances is not only related with money. So you need to understand how to handle the cash. At the same time, it is really going to make you literate you, in fact, educate you about the kind of finances which are available in terms of your time, in terms of your cash, right? In terms of your books, in terms of your, say, toys, in terms of your food. We have a roti bank as well, right? We talk about the roti bank, toy bank. So these banks, they are all about, give a part of their financial literacy. So end of it, I believe that we need to sensitize our children towards a particular aspect of it, which is related to their finances, and it comes from within. And of course, a proper environment has to be created, and wherein we, the educators, we, the facilitators, have to come forward and show them the right track, that this is the way you can handle your things. So this of late has become very, very important, very eminent. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anju, for your wonderful words. Indeed, financial literacy has become very important, and it's the need of the hour. I remember an incident that happened with me when you were talking about that change, the 99 rupee and 1 rupee change. So I was pretty young. I was in grade 7th or 8th, and there was this person in the hotel. I saw my parents giving them the tips, okay, and my dad saying, keep the change. So there was a 500 rupee note in the, I gave it for my father gave it for the bill, and it was 450 was the price. I still remember it because after that I got a scolding from my dad that 50 rupees you don't give for change, right? You can give 10 rupees, you can give 5 rupees, up like 10, 12 years back down the line I'm talking about. So it was like 50 rupees for a change. Yes. It's not permitted. So yes, definitely. Nowadays, children have to understand the value of money. Because nowadays children are seeing, okay, just by the plastic card or just by entering a 4-5 digit pin, mama, papa is getting everything from Amazon. So one fine day, one of my school children, child told me that, ma'am, let's buy a toy. And I said, I don't have money to buy so much of toys for you. You don't keep it properly. Ma'am, buy money from Amazon. I mean, seriously, I have to buy money from Amazon. So for them, buying money is just by, putting some digits in the Amazon and getting it sorted. Definitely, we learned it hard way. Like we learned from our mistakes, and definitely we don't want our children to do that. We want a structured program wherein they understand the importance and they, move further in that. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your lovely words. I would like Geeta, ma'am, if she could just let us, know about that. When we were young, we were not taught financial literacy. Like I just mentioned, we learn it our ways. We learn it the hard way, I can say. We learn from our mistakes. So we are facing, everybody, like our generation, this generation is facing difficulties, in understanding, in managing their finance. So if we are giving our children financial literacy in this era, what do you think? Will it be a difference? Will it going to make a difference in their lives?
Yeah, Aditi, very well said by Anju ma'am as well. See, during our times, it was a time of piggy banks, saving a penny and keeping it for the tough times, or being empathic towards the needy people. I would say those were the times when we used to learn mathematics, and there used to be only one chapter, I believe, in grade 2, where the currency was introduced to us.
Money.
Yeah, absolutely, the money chapter, and we studied from there. Okay, this is how the currency looks like. Indian currency looks like. But after that, everything goes to a different level altogether. And during our, I should say, during our times, it was just mathematics which was bringing us the concept of interest, principal amount, the loan, the profit, loss, debits, and so and so. And the children who passed 10th standard with good grades, good marks, they used to opt for science. And then again in science, mathematics was the crux, where people used to step back saying that, oh my god, mathematics, let me not do it again, I have to do that compound interest and so and so. But when it comes to the students who opt for commerce, again, if you remember, most of us, I would say, commerce was considered as a stream which is opted by the students who are in the second division and so. And it was really painful for those children who do not have any background of, say, business studies, maybe accountancy, maybe economics. During that time, the complete 10 years of education has gone without it. And all of a sudden, they are pushed into a curriculum where they have to do it from the scratch. And it takes toll on their lives, I would say. It used to take toll on their lives. But now the scenario has changed. I would say the scenario has changed. The top-notch students who score on and on, they are opting for commerce because they understand the importance of the commerce stream, and they understand how they can flourish in this branch of curriculum. Most importantly, when we look into various things, when we were not that financially literate, but yes, some concepts were introduced and we were able to manage it. The most hit part of the society, still, I would say, those who are not having a structured, standard financial background, how to help those communities, how to go ahead, empathizing is not sufficient. Sympathizing is not sufficient. We need to equip people. And when we need to equip people, we need to give them the strong base. When this base comes in, everything falls in place. COVID-19 has come out as a lesson to us. Most of the people who were serving, they lost their jobs. There was the scenario where this financial literacy could have helped the people, because they might, they could have understood how to manage what they are earning, how to streamline it. That is the setback of not having financial literacy reaching to everybody in the society. That was the setback time when we all suffered. Not only the people who pull the carts, even the professionals, say in our profession as well, teaching fraternity, right? Various parents, they all struggled for even a single penny. Everybody struggled. Now, if we introduce this financial literacy at the right age, I would say, as you mentioned very well, that, till 6 years of age, the child is having so much of potential that they can grab in everything. If we introduce financial literacy from that specific age and keep children aware of what's happening around, how to save, where to invest on, what returns to get, if you are losing something, how to analyze it, right? What losses you are suffering, if you analyze it, and then strategize a plan where you can still get the profit. So these thoughts, when, as Anju ma'am also said very well, if it comes in a structured way, it's going to help the society at large. I would say it will bring financial sustainability to the society. We talk about digital literacy. We talk about NEP being rolled out. We talk about environmental sustainability. We talk about everything in sustainable manner. Then why not finance? Why we should not look into the financial sustainability, not only for us, not only for the children who are with us, but for the whole country at a large. And when we look beyond the country, then whole world at a large, because it is not only we are poor, or we are tagged to be poor, we are tagged to be developing country. There are still many countries in the world who are struggling with their finances, and the live example is Sri Lanka. If they could be knowing that how to manage their finances, I think the turmoil which is going on around in Sri Lanka would have not happened. So down the line, if this financial literacy is introduced at this point of time, down the line, after 10 years, you would yourself see the change. The thought process of our students, our children, will change completely. At Basil Woods Nature School, at our institute, we teach them to be entrepreneurs. And we are not taking something from outside. We are giving them the plots. We give them the plots. We ask them to do the organic farming, sell it in the local market. They understand, because it's a sort of scenario where every child is having their own plot, and they grow certain crops. When they sell it, they understand what is the hard effort that they have put in, what is the money they have expended, right? And what is the profit they are gaining. If they are not able to gain the profit, then what is the change that they may need to make in their strategies? This is how it works. It is all practical based knowledge. It is all, I would say, as Anju ma'am well said, it is a skill. And we need to groom our children to come up to the skill, as we are looking out for all sort of skills. 21st century, we talk about 21st century skills. And why not then financial literacy? If we introduce this at this point of time, the generation down the lines will be far more stable, established, and understanding. They will be having the understanding of how to nurture the money, how to channelize it, how to utilize it, and how to give it to the society back at the time of need. That is what I would say.
Thank you so much, ma'am Geeta. It was lovely listening to you. It was indeed an enlightened, all of you must have heard of a person called Robert Kiyosaki. He has said that we were not taught financial literacy in the school. So it's taking time for us to change our thinking and to act. So let's give our children a platform where they are equipped. Like Madam Geeta mentioned that, you're doing the practical knowledge of how the entrepreneurs are in making, how you're doing it in the school. I think every school should adopt that just having a chapter in the textbook called money is not going to solve the problem. It has to be the practical skill that the child has to adopt and learn. Because at the end of the day, those who are mocking the commerce students are hiring them. The doctors and the engineers are hiring the CAs to channelize their money and to grow their money. So I think gone are those days when, commerce students were like, the whole year will go in their one notebook. I remember my friends and my teachers, commerce, they just require one notebook and 11th is sorted. So no, now you're hiring those 11 standard commerce people to sort out your finances, right? So on that note, we have Aparna ma'am with us. Aparna ma'am, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Would like to, would like you to throw some light, because now it's 21st century. I remember when we were young, our parents were, don't talk about finance, about the family budgeting or the financial knowledge. They're too young to understand. So it was a taboo basically. Parents didn't discuss their financial budgeting, their financial ways, or where are they investing, what are they doing. They never wanted their children to know about how is their finances, right? So what do you think? Should that happen the same way? Or should now the 21st century parents start discussing about their finance and about what is their way of, investing or planning?
Yes, this is a very relevant question because you see so many people all around us. If a grown-up adult also faces some financial difficulties, it is the parents who get affected. Eventually, even if you are in your 30s, 40s, and if you have some financial problems and you end up in a debt or a loss, then surely it is the parents who shell out from their own savings or whatever they have. So I think that burden is still on parents to see to it that when the child grows up, knows how to manage money. And very much so in 21st century, as you know, that things have changed so much. I can quote an example from my own school. There was a child in class 8 and his mother had given him access to her credit card and other things. And he kept on playing games, and he didn't know how much he spent till he saw actually that he spent more than 1 lakh rupees. And who bears the loss eventually? The parent. So it's very much important to teach this kind of things to children, because we have now a lot of, as ma'am just now said, that it's not like olden days, counting money and giving. So many times it's just like with one click and the money is gone. And it's not about literacy, but at home it is more about prudence, and what kind of a value and attitude that you want to develop for money. And I've seen in so many families, as I'm quoting, the mother was so confident. Maybe the father never gave access to the child to his money, but the mother gave, trusting. Generally, it happens at home that, mother is more like relaxed or little bit, you can use my things and all. So what happens in that situation? That parents have to be first and foremost like-minded in this. If it is decided that certain amount of money will be given to the child as a monthly,
Ma'am, you have to unmute yourself.
Yes, certainly that like-mindedness has to be there. So many times it is, say, maybe one of the parent giving the money, or not bothering or checking the other parent that why are you asking for the account. And that one thing that the parent need to do is sit down and decide how they will handle or ask the child to handle the money. And rather than discussing the family situation, so many times I've seen when parent have too much of money or little money, and if it is being discussed with the child, it gives a different kind of either an inferiority complex or a superiority complex. So money matters of the family should not be discussed, but children should be taught to use the money, utilize the money in a prudent way. And the values should be inculcated and attitude should be built up, because so many times parents themselves are like role models. If they walk into the market and they feel like buying something without thinking they are buying, then they are modeling the wrong kind of a behavior. So they have to themselves first understand whether they are financially literate enough to teach the child, and if not, then they need to, upgrade themselves. So certainly parents' role is a very huge role, because eventually, whether it is a small child or a grown-up child, when the child gets into debts or faces losses or makes bad decisions, the brunt is taken by the parents only. And it is not only about literacy, but more about, prudence, financial prudence, and having knowledge of different kinds of laws. What does the law say? And as you said, maybe there are so many kind of different things now: online, internet, credit card, debit card, with so much of variety around, that exposure, how to use it properly is required. So certainly the parents do have a role. In a school, we don't have a curriculum as such, but we certainly have this 1 week program which we make children undergo, a certificate program which is run by Bombay Stock Exchange to develop their financial literacy skills. And this is what I feel, that parents play a huge role first and foremost in building a very prudent approach towards spending. Because generally we Indians are very emotional, if we have a wedding, then we want to dress up and go, and or we want to spend money or give away good gifts, or that emotional part. Or we had a dream of buying something, then at any cost we want to buy it. If we, what kind of debt we are taking? Yesterday, I had my maid, she's bought a house, and she said for a 15 lakh worth of a house, she's going to eventually pay up 30 lakhs over a period of 10 years. So she could have got a better deal had she been literate enough and read everything, the terms and conditions. So it's not only when you invest, but also when you take money, that attitude of, being looking for different kind of things which are available to you, and then making the choice. That kind of ability now has to be developed in the children. And surely parents do play a major role, because they are the first teachers before even the school comes in. And more than that, they are the ones who bear the brunt. I keep on saying it, because I know that when I have made some financial mistakes, it is my parents who ended up, chipping in or helping me. And I think it is the experience of everybody. So parents do have to take a very keen interest, but certainly what I have seen over a period of years as principal or as a teacher, meeting so many parents and children, parents remain divided about their attitude towards money. That is where the biggest problem comes while teaching the children. And the most important thing which I would tell a parent or a child is that, your parents need to be unified and have a policy at home that how they are going to help children manage money. If both the parents are pulling in an opposite direction, the child certainly gets confused and doesn't develop the right skills. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aparna ma'am. That was, I think you've answered a lot of questions. Like the parents, those who have joined, they have definitely, been enlightened by your words. I will definitely add on to that, that yes, the financial budgeting and the status of the family, that might be the later part to discuss, but inculcating the child with the value of money, that it's a hard-earned money. You just can't go on shopping, or you just can't go on buying stuffs, right? So it's just one thing that you have to buy, and that's going to make you happy. So yes, that has to be, taught to the children. So we are open for the questions from the audience. Audience, I would like you to type in your questions on the chat box, and the panel is ready to. If you have any queries or concerns, the panel is ready to answer that question. Would request you to please write the questions in the chat box. Very too good. There is no, like, we have sorted out all their financial literacies queries. So I think they're taking time to type. Okay, till the time they are coming up with the questions, I have a question, from all three elite principals with me. I'm like I mentioned that it's a preschool that I'm owning, and I have a preschool here. So how to deal with the preschoolers when it comes to financial literacy? Ma'am, would request you to please put your questions in the chat box. Okay, you're not able to put the questions in the chat box, is it? Okay, Asta, could you please help me out with that?
Yeah, ma'am, just give me a moment.
Yes. So like, yeah, how to go about the preschoolers, because like, I'm not asking about the 2 and 3 years old children, but maybe a 5-year child who is well versed with the language, well versed with his environment, the orientation is sorted, he's developed on those skills. Now, how to go about with these young children, how to inculcate the habit of savings, or how to, just could you please elaborate on this?
All right, I'll just answer it in very short. What I have noticed is it's really good to begin with a piggy bank, giving them as a gift. And, so many times children, when they are small, they do get like as blessings on festivals, some money from their elders. So it is always good to ask them to, instead of spend, to put it in that piggy bank and maybe open it someday and, count the money with them. Or, I would still suggest help them donate something from it, buy something and give away some part. So this is what I feel a 5-year-old can do.
Right.
I endorse what she's saying. This is absolutely the right way, because they at this vulnerable age they catch the things by observation.
Yes.
So it is important that the parents should behave in a very certainly in a very sensible manner these days in front of children. They do sometimes they tell them something to do, but they do something else, right? So it's not just by the words, by your action or behavior, the child is going to pick up various things. So we as parents, our responsibility is rather more. And in fact, this kind of a scenario, it is when they are more vulnerable, so it is our responsibility, ethical duty, moral duty as well, that, I mean, we may be some at the back of mind what goes on, I don't know, that may happen, that we can afford. But when it comes in front of the children, we have to behave in such a manner that what we expect them to do, we should also do. Because
they ape you, basically. These young minds are aping their...
Certainly, definitely. You were saying something.
Yeah, so that's what I was telling, that, these young minds ape their parents. Whatever my father is doing, the mother is doing, they'll do it in the same manner. They are offsprings. So
Aditi,
and they follow their teachers more than their parents.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. So why not to inculcate this habit of saving money inside the classroom? Let me do it as a teacher first. Let me put some amount in the piggy bank. Let my children follow it.
Or maybe not putting amount in the piggy bank. See, because I'm a preschooler, I again and again go to that segment, because it's like the pencil sharpening. Okay, they keep on sharpening the pencil. So one pencil, that's it for you. 1 week, one pencil, sorted. I remember our days, our parents used to get 3 pencils for 3 months. Now at least we are rationalizing to 1 pencil a week. So maybe we can start with those 1 pencil a week. Maybe we can start with some of the other storytelling or something. So we have a set of questions here. I would just...
The concept of caring and sharing also comes along with it.
Right. Conceptually.
Like that.
True. So there is this question from Dr. Begum. She says that when rich parents show a very lavish lifestyle for their children, how do we stop the child as a teacher from becoming insensitive towards money and costly items?
I think the answer?
Yes, please, Anjuma.
Because, see, in the classroom, everybody is equal. There is no question of anybody being affluent or rich or poor or like that. So it is, again, the teacher's attitude, how she is going to reflect upon all these issues in the classroom. Her teacher's role is very important. She has to be absolutely unbiased, and not fit anyone when it comes to a child belonging to an affluent family and bringing about certain things, which the others do not have. But despite all this, if a child gets all these things, I think again the concept of caring and sharing has to be developed here. And there might be a corner in the class which can be called as a sharing corner. The child should start to come forward and share his things or share his belongings, with the others. So the point is sensitization has to be inculcated. So once a child is sensitized towards, the feelings and the attitude of the other people also around him, the other children around him, probably he'll be able to, we'll be able to groom him like that. So it is all about nature gives us something, but then our nurturing is more important. So contrast between nature and nurture, this is where we, the teachers, our role comes in, and we have to, again, play a very, very wise role here. We have to be very sincere about our role here. We are in the VUCA world, VUCA negative world. We try to convert this VUCA negative into VUCA positive. So from day one, we should not think that our children, we start underestimating them. No, 0 to 6 years, they pick up, their mind is developed at that time. Lots of things they pick up. More than 80%, when they are psychologically, emotionally, when they get attached to the certain things which are around them. So it is very important that we expose them to many things, so that they just pick up certain things, and they would be there in their minds for the times to come. So that part is very important here. That's what I feel.
Agreed. Very true and very nicely put up. I hope, Dr. Begum, your question is answered. We have the next question. Teaching easy concepts to children who are in age more than 10 is easy, but those who are of age 5 to 8, how to make them interested about learning finance, like demand and supply. So I'll just like to take this. Ms. Charu, there is this Education 10X who is doing a wonderful job. I have been a part of this Education 10X. They are doing a wonderful job by teaching the young minds with their practical, knowledge, by giving them practical knowledge, and also by doing practical things with them. So they have wonderful structured program. You can get in touch with them, and it will be easy for you to teach the children those who are in age 5 to 8. Yeah, it's more of a, interaction. It's more of storytelling. It's more of, because these young minds have the pictorial impact. The photographic memory is very nice. So the amount of pictures and everything that you show to them, the videos that you show them, they'll comprehend and they will understand more. That's why the YouTube channels are minting money, because of our young minds watching them. Okay, the next question is, Ms. Rekha has asked, as a parent, is it right to hide the financial problems, thinking that the child will develop inferiority? So any one of you would like to take?
May I?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So absolutely, at a certain age, we have to keep the things with us. But when the kids are of the age 8, 9 and above, we should make sure that we are informing them about the financial situations that the parent is going through in a very subtle and sensible way. It is not that, the child is asking for something and you say, I don't have money, I cannot get it right away. You don't understand what I'm going through. No, this is not the way to deal with it. There are the ways where you can bring a picture to the child's mind, where you can develop a scene and tell a child saying that, see, this is what is the expense I have budgeted for this particular month. Your birthday is coming the next week, or next week, or I have to fulfill this requirement of yours. I have kept some savings for you. So let that pass on. Then I will add your added on demands and needs. Then, rather than just, bombarding on the child, why don't you understand? So that is not going to solve the problem, Rekha ma'am. Here, only thing is, We as parents need to be very sensible when we are at the low of our financial status. We need to make sure that the child is not hurt, inferiority complex is not developed. Likewise, the child is aware of the situations well. This is what I would say, Aditi.
Yeah, and I think, ma'am, it's more of the inferiority complex between the parents. Children
Parents.
really don't understand. They're
Correct.
happy what they have. But
Correct.
if the parents are they keep on talking at home like, okay, I don't have this, or I want to buy this. It's their wish list, which is like not getting fulfilled. That's why they are getting frustrated.
And moreover, it is very much important to teach the children from the very early age the difference between the want and the need.
Needs. Wonderful. Yes.
Very, very important.
Agree,
If I
agree.
say this is my want, it won't work out. If I need it, it works out. So we need to teach our children about that rather
The
than
needs and
just,
the wants.
going ahead with anything that makes them feel, absurd, and they keep themselves back, I would say.
So I think we've answered all the questions. If any one of you would like to add on something. There is Mr. T.N. Pratap who has, written that money is as important as religion. Any religion and requires a much importance given or even more. In school, it should be a co-curricular subject because we don't want it to become another subject like geography or maths. True.
Can I answer that?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Mr. Pratap very nicely said that money education is as important as religion, but I like to differ with religion part because see, religion sometimes leads to fundamentalism, and then it also creates a lot of barriers.
True.
So I would rather say that, we need to inculcate values, religious, irrespective of religion, values in every religion are similar, same, and equally emphasized. So instead of teaching religion, we should teach values, of being good, of being human, of being honest, see, one of the biggest value which we need about management of money is honesty. If you teach a child to be honest, I'm sure he's going to manage his money sufficiently well. Okay, so I completely agree with Mr. Pratap with that, but not in the sense of religion, but certainly spiritual values, irrespective of religion. And every religion teaches good values like being honest, being, prudent, being non-aggressive. So it's so very much true because, sometimes we see so much of greed among people, they are trying to get quick and fast money. I wouldn't like to name few people, but we see how they have ended up very recently, big names, jewelers, bankers, people owning aviation industry, part of aviation, and how they have ended up just because they were not able to manage their money, or they were too greedy, or they were dishonest. So I agree with Mr. Pratap that, if we are teaching the right values, it's going to spill over in money management too. And it has to be taught. But I have a question to all of you. See, we teach all this to children, but when they pass out of school, or when they are in their 11th and 12th, and when they get an exposure with a lot of other kind of people, where people who are having a lot of money, less money, more pocket money, and generally how children lose out in young age is with their friend circle. When they have to spend money, then they ask, they feel little bit inferior if they don't have enough money. And I would like everybody to think that how would you prepare say a young adult, not a teenager, but say a 19-year-old, a teenager only, to not get carried away because all the friends are, going out for a party and spending this much of money, and how he doesn't demand or she doesn't demand at home for that much amount. How would you handle such a situation, or how would you explain to the child who might feel depressed or, deprived rather, when he doesn't have the money to shell out and join other friends in their outing or something. So I've seen it so many times that there is tremendous stress and tension at home because the child is young, a 19, 20, 21-year-old, wanting to go out with friends, maybe somewhere, and is asking for a huge sum of money. I'm sure those who are of my age would have surely faced problems like this, with parents reporting problems like this. When he was young, he was very good, very nice, but now, he or she is like wanting this. So this is one because it becomes more like peer pressure. So one of the most important thing that we need to teach a child to handle is the peer pressure when we have to help him with money. This is another thing which I would emphasize with Mr. Pratap, that when you teach spiritual values, it helps the child to even balance out the peer pressure, because they have to not they don't want to fall in line with the peers, but they have a higher calling, or they have a higher authority to which they feel responsible, and maybe they will not fall into this trap. So these are the two things I felt that I agree with Mr. Pratap, but sorry, Mr. Pratap differed not religion but spiritual values.
So he agrees about the peer pressure. Yes, it is the peer pressure at times. So basically, we have to teach our children about financial literacy, definitely, but also how to use it and how to basically have a holistic development. If the holistic development of the child is done, he or she will be able to justify his or her being, right? On that note, Galaxy F22 has asked for the financial literacy syllabus. I guess Asta or Prachi can get in touch with you guys. So Asta and Prachi, please look into this. I think we have answered all the questions, and okay, so Asta has posted the link on the chat box. So dear parents, you can have a look on that. So thank you so much for being here and discussing such a wonderful topic and making a Saturday evening so interesting. And it was lovely interacting with all of you. If you just like to end up something, maybe Anju ma'am or Geeta ma'am, if you would like to just.
Yeah, just would like to add here, it is the high point that we need to take a step forward. We need to create the generations who will not take us as examples when it comes to history part of COVID-19.
Right.
They will be well equipped to deal with their finances, to empathize with the world at large, to channelize their money, to save their money and contribute that bit towards the universe.
It's very rightly said. Thank you so much for sparing time and being with us today.
We all need to be very, very resilient, right, and patient, right, and we should try to be the change really we want to see everywhere. That is something very important.
Right. True.
So bring about that change, see the change, and let's put it, the example. So experiential learning and practical learning is very important here.
It's very important.
Thank you so much. Wish you all the very best.
Yeah.
Namaste, everybody. Take care.
Thank you so much. Over to you, Asta.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you to all you dignitaries for giving your valuable time. It was a sheer pleasure and a privilege to hear about such a significant topic straight from masters like you. We sincerely hope that it will help people across the world to develop a new and fresh mindset when it comes to imparting money management skills and financial literacy to their children and contribute their efforts in building a happy, secure financial life for them. We are truly grateful to you all, ma'am. And with this, we come to the end of today's program. We hope it was as informative and enjoyable for you all as it has been for all of us. Before taking your leave, it gives me immense pleasure to share this with you that tomorrow we are organizing our first 10X Olympiad. I've sent the link in the chat box. Please go through the same. We would really appreciate that. Signing off, lots of best wishes from the entire team of Education 10X. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.